is kind of set. If you want to just pick it off the sound. Yeah, that goes with some menus. Yep.
Are you guys going live at exactly 8:30?
What?
You're going live at exactly 8:30?
We're already live, so.
Oh, yeah. But this is starting at 8:30 or?
Hello.
Right. I just want to make sure that I. No. I just want to make sure that I have everything.
You good?
Yeah, we're rolling. We're live. Yep.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sophia Laurie, Outreach Director for California Family Council, and I'm proud to stand on the steps of our state capitol to defend something that every Californian should agree on: the right for girls to compete fairly and safely in their sports. As a lifelong athlete, I know the importance of girls' sports. I played at the highest levels of club soccer in Southern California, 4 years of CIF varsity soccer, and served as a team captain for 3 of those years. That led me to fulfill my 10-year-old dream of playing collegiate soccer at Vanguard University of Southern California. That opened doors to scholarships, friendships, and lessons that shaped who I am today. And I want to thank you all for being here today, because today is a day that matters. In just a few moments, we will walk into that building, not just as concerned citizens, but as protectors of truth, fairness, and the future of girls' sports in California. I'm incredibly honored to support Assemblymember Essayli's AB 844 and to testify today in support of Assemblywoman Sanchez's AB 89, the Protect Girls Sports Act. These bills are simple. They ensure that every California girl will have the opportunity to play fair and safe sports. Not boys who identify as girls, but girls who have trained, sacrificed, and dreamed of the moment their hard work pays off. That's not exclusion. That's not hate. That's equality. Biology is not bigotry. And make no mistake, the Democrat Assembly members will try to twist this. They'll say we're being divisive, that we're making a big deal out of nothing, that standing up for girls is somehow an attack on someone else. But we know better. We know that one male athlete can take opportunities from hundreds of girls who lose roster spots, scholarships, championships, and even their sense of safety and dignity in the locker room and on the field. And we're here to say no more. Not on our watch, not in our state. Even Governor Newsom recently admitted to Charlie Kirk that allowing males in female sports is deeply unfair. When one of the nation's most progressive governors acknowledges this truth, you know change is coming. And it's not just us standing here today. The American people stand with us. A recent New York Times poll shows nearly 80% of Americans, including 2/3 of Democrats, believe males should not compete in women's sports. So today is about every female athlete who's been told to sit down, be quiet, and smile while her future is handed to a male. Today we go into the Capitol with courage and clarity. We go in knowing we speak for the vast majority of Californians who want fairness restored. We go in unafraid because truth is on our side, science is on our side, and our girls' futures are worth fighting for. And no matter what happens in that hearing room today, know this: our movement will only grow. We will not be silenced. We will not back down. I'm honored to testify on behalf of every girl who just wants a fair shot, and I will not stop until she gets it. Thank you, God bless you, and let's go stand for girls' sports.
Thank you, Sophia. My name is Erin Friday. I am the president of Our Duty USA, a nonpartisan group of parents and advocates. I'm also a lifetime Democrat. For those of you who continue to say that this is a conservative movement and that Republicans are the ones who don't want males in girls' spaces, that's just patently false. It's everyone, every woman wants to have a safe space where she can get dressed, where she can have dignity, where she can have safety, and where she can have her own sports. So I am urging my fellow Democrats in that capital to do the right thing. Do what your constituents want, which is to return sports, bathrooms, locker rooms, overnight accommodations to be based on sex and not gender identity. So it is with great honor that I'm going to introduce our next speaker, which is Coach Melissa Beatty-Smooth. She stood up for women and she lost her job as an assistant coach for San Jose State University. Thank you.
Hi, as she said, my name is Melissa Beatty-Smooth. I was the fired associate head coach at San Jose State University for women's volleyball. I was fired because I dared to stand up for females, their safety, their dignity, and fair competition. Currently, the university is under investigation by the Department of Education. I'm here to support both the AB 89 and the AB 844, rational bills that will assure California complies with Title IX. The purpose for Title IX is to provide level playing field for females. It is not designed to permit males who believe they are women to assert rights of women, take their opportunities, and enter their intimate spaces. Males and females need to have separate spaces, separate sports, separate locker rooms and bathrooms. It's common sense. There's a reason why men's volleyball net is 7 inches higher than the female net. Male bodies, especially male athletes, can jump higher, are more physical, and just that much stronger than females. Before I was told Blair Fleming was a male, I noticed how incredibly hard he spiked the ball and outjumped our female athletes. Prior to anyone being told Blair was a male, he had been sharing common spaces, overnight accommodations with the female athletes. This is just wrong. When a female player and I complained, we were told that we were the problem and that we needed to be silent. This is one male that affected every female on the team and every one of our teams that we competed against. He received scholarships intended for females, took time away from females, caused the team to hire security, and took the fairness out of every game. Do the right thing, and let's vote yes on these bills. Thank you.
And again, I want to remind the press and everyone that this is a bipartisan issue. I'm a Democrat. I wrote AB 844, the bill that's being presented today. The next speaker is a very brave young lady. She's a high schooler, and she wants to have her dignity and her safety, the same thing that I had when I was an athlete, when I was in high school. Jordan, please come on up.
Good morning. We are all here today for the same reason, to keep biological males out of women's sports. As an athlete, this subject is important to me because it's not just about fairness and competition, but it's also about safety. Women fought for years to be considered serious competitors in sports, and we cannot now relinquish that in order to appease others. I stand by the fact that there are two genders, and we should each have the opportunity to be our best and compete fairly, also while maintaining our safety. Women have been both physically and emotionally damaged in the sports field by allowing biological males into women's sports and lost out on many opportunities. A UN study in 2024 found that women lost almost 900 medals and countless scholarships to biological males. Isn't allowing biological males into women's sports making the entire industry moot? I would like to give you two examples of the unfairness and dangers of allowing biological males into women's sports. Let's look at the well-known cases of Riley Gaines and Peyton McNabb. Riley Gaines was made to compete against a biological male who calls himself Leah Thomas. When Leah, or then William Thomas, competed in 2007 through 2019 as a male, he was ranked 554th in the country. Fast forward to 2022, the NCAA Division Women's Swimming and Diving Championships. Leah came in 5th and tied with Riley Gaines. Riley trained her entire life for this competition, and it was taken from her, unfairly. The NCAA should never have allowed a biological male to participate, and Riley was so devastated by this she retired immediately afterwards. Another case is that of Peyton McNabb, who was a North Carolina high school volleyball athlete. She was severely injured when a biological male athlete competing in a girls' volleyball match spiked the ball into her face, causing permanent brain injury, including impaired vision and partial paralysis. This is proof of unfair and dangerous practices of allowing biological males in women and girls' sports. Some will argue that they want to protect women, and yet they can't define what a woman is. How can they protect women if they can't define what a woman is and they allow biological males to compete in women's sports? Men are physically stronger, faster, and there is little to no chance for a fair competition. I have given you just 2 well-known cases, but there are many more. Please don't let it take the death of a female athlete to stop this. I urge you to stand with us to support Assembly Bill AB 844 and Assembly Bill AB 89, and let's keep women and girls sports fair and safe. Let's make women and girls sports fair again and safe again. Thank you so much.
I want to welcome up Jen Worsma. She is a school board member for Temecula, and she has stood up for women and females.
Good morning. I'm Jen Wiersma, a trustee at Temecula Valley Unified. Our school board just voted 5-0 across party lines to pass a resolution supporting AB 89 to restore girls' sports. Governor, when a biological boy competes as a girl in the triple jump and wins by 8 feet, you are erasing female athletes. You're stripping away their academic scholarships and their future. A comment on a podcast just isn't enough. Leadership and action is required. When California refuses to comply with federal law and the original intent of Title IX, school districts are caught in the middle. Districts like mine are legally bound to safeguard students from physical injuries and provide safe environments or risk legal action if we fail to do so. In fact, CIF claims their hands are tied with state law, but districts must comply with federal law protecting women's rights. This bill presents the ethical way forward to restore girls' rights over toxic political ideology. Today, I stand collectively with common sense leaders like Kate Sanchez, Bill Essayli, and Sonia Shaw, candidate for state superintendent. End the insanity and restore girls' sports in California. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Jen. Thank you for standing tall for women. Governor Newsom can whip up his base and he could get these laws passed. There are 3 now bills that are being proposed in California to bring fairness back to women. And so there are 3 shots for these Democrats to show that they care about women and girls. And I'm really hopeful that they'll do the right thing this time, because otherwise we're going to have to vote them out of office, and we're just going to have to get louder. That's right. 4 years in this fight, folks, and we're not done yet. And I just want to assure people in the state of California that we have a direct line to the Department of Education in DC. They are paying attention to California. I personally met with the Secretary of the Department of Education She is willing to hear us. She is taking action, as you saw with investigations on San Jose State University. An investigation was opened up against the California Interscholastic Federation, and more is to come because Trump isn't kidding around. He will withhold funding, and that funding is approximately $15 billion, and that's a large number when we have the state budgetary issues that are going on in our state right now. So that's $15 billion, and that's just a drop in the bucket, because once the federal government starts pulling money from research and development, that number continues to grow. And undoubtedly, and I personally know that the Trump administration is going to pull every lever to safeguard our girls and women, even in our blue states. So our final speaker is Marlo Tucker, and she's from Concerned Women of America. So please welcome.
Hello, my name is Marlo Tucker, and I'm the State Director of Concerned Women for America of California, the nation's largest public policy women's organization. I represent thousands of women and families across the state who care deeply about protecting girls and preserving fairness in sports. And I strongly support AB 89 and AB 844. Two critical bills authored by Assemblywoman Kate Sanchez and Assemblyman Bill Essayli. These bills are a lifeline for females who have been crying out, pushed off their teams, and dignity destroyed as males enter their intimate spaces. AB 89, the Protect Girls Sports Act, affirms the obvious. Girls deserve a fair playing field. When Title IX passed in 1972, just over 300,000 girls were in school sports. Today, it's over 3.3 million, of whom 43% are high school athletes. But all that progress vanishes when males compete in girls' sports. It's the females who lose. A UN report found that nearly 900 medals have been taken away by women by male athletes worldwide. Now, AB 844 addresses student privacy, specifically bathrooms, locker rooms, and showers. We are teaching girls that a man's feelings matter more than their reality. That's not empowerment, it's erasure. This is not radical, it's reasonable. There's bipartisan consensus. So to our legislators, these bills don't erase anyone, they restore what's been taken. They protect the hard-won rights of women and girls. Support AB 89 and support 844. Thank you.
Our final speaker is Bill Essayli, and he's my personal hero because he is the author of AB 844, which will define sex in biological terms and really save our state. So thank you, Bill.
Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Today's going to be a good day. Regardless of the outcome of the committee, just look at how far we've come in the last year or two where you couldn't even talk about this issue up here in Sacramento. And now we're at a point where the governor has agreed with our position that it is unfair to make girls compete with boys in sports. I mean, this is common sense, but common sense does not prevail often in Sacramento. So we've come a long way. It's been a team effort. I want to thank everyone that's been involved in this movement. And today, the national spotlight will be on Sacramento, and it will be on the Democrats in this House to see if they're going to stand with the majority of the people of this country, the 80% of voters who think this is a common sense issue, or if they're going to double down as the fringe party that engages in radical gender ideology and continue to lose elections and voters. So it's their choice, and we're going to give them a clear choice today. We're going to give the American people a clear choice on where each party stands. And I look forward to a robust hearing. And regardless of the outcome, our message will be heard. And I do think that this will be for a good purpose. So I look forward to it. And I'll see you guys in there shortly.
I just got word that Assemblywoman Katie Sanchez is on her way. So if we want to wait a few minutes and be patient, I expect that she will be here. But I do want to remind everyone, again, that the Department of Ed is watching California. On March 27th, the Secretary of the Department of Education wrote a personal letter to Gavin Newsom warning him that if he did not stop violating Title IX, that our schools would lose their federal funding. But I actually think there's another warning that needs to be told, and this is coming from my legal brain here, is that schools and states that are accepting federal dollars, knowing that they are violating Title IX, may be looking at False Claims Acts lawsuits. That's fraud. And there's really no insurance coverage for fraud. And average citizens can actually stand in the feet of government and file these lawsuits. So I want to remind California that you are violating Title IX. You are knowingly violating Title IX. And you have now opened yourself up to a cascade of False Claims Acts lawsuits. And attorneys out there, get working because they're actually quite lucrative for lawyers to file these actions. And I hope to see them shortly. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Beth Bourne. I was one of the lucky females who got to compete in CIF sports in high school, and I was also a collegiate athlete in 3 sports. This is the late 80s when only females were allowed in the female category. The emperor has no clothes. You've all seen the headlines the last few months about the boys in California sports that are dominating. They've made national headlines. Boys competing in girls volleyball, boys competing in girls basketball, and boys competing in girls track and field. Ron Assetti, who's the executive director for CIF, has actually been quoted multiple times in news outlets saying that CIF keeps no records, no data, no figures on the number of boys who are identifying into girls' sports. I can share a list of the boys that we've seen. We've got the names. These boys are destroying the competition because they have the advantages of male bodies. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster. I actually know of 3 boys at Davis High School, where my children went to school, who have been competing in girls' sports. One of these boys actually won the downhill girls' state championship. 2 other boys competed in track and field, set the pole vault record for the high school for 9th graders. Another boy displaced a girl on the varsity team. So that's 3 boys at 1 high school in California competing in girls' sports. So right now our legislatures, they have the opportunity to say and do the right thing. The state of Washington next week will also be visiting a policy that will return girls category to girls only. So even Gavin Newsom has said it's deeply unfair to these girls. And I believe it's also deeply unfair to these boys. You know, these are boys that should be able to grow up to be healthy, whole men. It's not right to tell children that they could be born in the wrong body. So it's time for everyone, even our Democratic legislators, to do the right thing and protect these girls and these boys and return to reality. Thank you.
We just got word, given the time, that Assemblywoman Sanchez will not be attending, but there'll be a post-hearing press conference in room 125, I believe. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead,